antique sword today. These are always the fun ones to come check out and see what's all going on here. Hey, Steve. This one is pretty cool. I've been waiting for this kind of sword. Hey, Jill, and hey, Scott. This sort of details on this sword for a while now. So we're going to wait for a few more people to come on, and then we will go once we'll go and start. Well, I'll start right now. I'll start at least cutting this open so that we can cut away all the dramatics. And by the way, if you haven't, do check out the latest video I posted on both on TikTok and on YouTube, and give us a lot of likes. It's a fun one, I think, a really enjoyable one. Hello, fellow. I got Timothy. I got your package to UPS. We do have a Mongolian shorter sword. I can't read who said it, but yes, we do. What sword? This is an antique sword. So we're going to go and unbox this antique sword once we get a few more people on. Hey, YouTube. And who is this? It is, I am on that kryptonite. What kind of unboxing? This is actually an antique sword. This one is about 400 years old, give or take 400, 500. It's actually about 500 years old. But it's actually really cool. Some of the cool details behind it. So yeah, I'm going to unbox a 500-year-old sword. As always, really hard to open this. Not as hard as that one tube, for those of you who saw me trying to unbox that one. Let me go put this away before I cut myself. Let's see. Yeah, I got my emails. Thank you. Are the Choji oil and sword pillow? Yes, they are all coming in the same package. The Choji oil and the sword pillow actually made some nice filling in empty space for that particular package. I was drooling over the 400-year-old Shirasaya medic. Are you talking? I have a few, but I assume you're talking about this one that has been in several of my videos lately, the Dotonuki. Is that the 400-year-old Shirasaya you're drooling over? Because I drool over every time I see it. Let's see. Oh, what kind of unboxing knife someone was asking. I was actually using a karambit. Hey, cereal maker. Let's see. Hey, Samurai Jade. No, what kind of knife? Yeah, I got it now. Triangle boxes. I don't think I've seen that before. Yeah, there's actually, you see these quite a bit. Just in general for packaging, because when I noticed, I thought about this today. I got this from Ray Singer of swordjapan.com, and he is absolutely amazing. If you put a sword like this, they can't stack anything on top of it. So I'm thinking it's actually a really good idea. I might start shipping valuable swords in triangles. So anyway, let's see. Well, I'm glad I got them. Yeah. Let's see. Sword pillow. Yeah, Chris Man there. Sword pillow. I think, do I have one here? Yeah, here's one right here. And so what it is that when you display bare blades, sometimes they have them put up, sometimes it's a good idea to use a sword pillow so that the blade won't scratch against anything. It's more for like when you want to baby your blades, like especially if they're a really expensive polish. It's probably not a bad idea. Only a true connoisseur of swords realized the value of a 400-year-old Shirasaya. The Shirasaya itself is not that old. Yeah, the actual piece of wood is not that old. The blade is 400 years old. Hey, Lauren. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and we will start trying to work this guy open. I might have to take that knife. Oh, okay, it's opening. Oh my gosh, what did he do? So what Ray does is that he takes FedEx boxes. And turns them inside out, I guess, to take the FedEx markings off of this. Will you have any antique katanas in Shirasaya? Yeah, we do. We have a few. How long would shipping take to Texas? Texas takes 3 to 5 days from here in Virginia. Yeah, I have this one. Actually, let me go before I unbox this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to need to take pictures of this. But this is a Naginata Wakizashi. It's one of my favorites here. I've had it for a long time. Very wide. It has muneyaki, so I don't know if you can catch the light here. You can see that it's clay tempered on both sides. So this has been one of my favorites. This one is a certified sword. It is a little on the pricey side, though. So mind you that Shirasaya, they're not functional fittings. It's not, you can't use them as a battle mount. You couldn't use them. Let's see. Is 1065 steel good for katana? I got one for 60. Yeah, it's not bad. It really depends on the heat treatment. Hey, Ryan. Let's see. No. Okay, here we are. All right. Okay, here is the fittings, the koshirae. I'm going to set that down here. And we're going to start with the blade. And here is the peanuts. They're like packing peanuts underneath here. I'm going to throw it in the box pile. The guest bedroom has become like box piles here. I'm pretty sure it drives my wife nuts. Let's see. So we'll start off with the. This is when you see it's this color. It's Tokubetsu Hozon, which is the second level up. How come some swords are displayed as just the blade on a stand without the handle on it? Do you mean a Japanese sword? You sometimes see those in museums displayed that way, but not usually otherwise. If it doesn't have a handle on it, it's usually it's in a museum. Let's see. Could I trouble you to show us the details on the 400-year-old blade? The straight one? Yeah, I can do that later. Let me finish unboxing this guy. Let's see. Okay. Saran wrap. I gotta learn from Ray. I mean, he does such a good job of shipping antique swords. I definitely need to learn from him. Okay, so this is the Kantesho. Kantesho is a certification from the MBTHK. This is Tokubetsu Hozon. Tokubetsu means a specially or special, and Hozon means preservation. So especially worthy of preservation. Now, if you can see here up close, you'll see that the Mei is has some interesting stuff going in there, and that's what's really special about this one. Carcadian, this is a 500-year-old sword. Have you ever gotten an antique from a pawn shop or a garage sale? I have not, Serial Master. I don't have the experience to really to notice those things. I just go by what the dealers tell me. I am getting more and more versed with antique Japanese swords, but definitely not super. I'm not an expert. Let's just say that. I have dipped my toes into the antique sword waters, but I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. All right, so here, 500 years old is not all that special. There were a lot of swords made 500 years ago because it was a time of war. It was a time of very vicious war in Japan. The Sengoku Jidai period, towards the end of the Sengoku Jidai. This is where the Hideyoshi and Nobunaga and others were unifying Japan, and there were a lot of wars, very huge wars, and so there was a huge demand for swords, and they were being pumped out really quickly. And so the quality of swords 500 years ago really wasn't super high, and there are literally millions of swords from that period. So they are cool, but they're not necessarily super special. And insofar as Japanese swords go, they are generally less expensive. 500-year-old swords are less expensive than the ones that are both younger, the Shinto swords, or older. Newer or older is the word I'm looking for. Trying to multitask and not doing a very good job here. All right, so let's see. Gonna unwrap this a little more. All right, comes in a sword bag. And just looking at this, I know where he got it from. So anyway, so for those of you who can read Japanese, this says Shimada. Shimada, what? That's not right. What does it say, Shimada? Oh yeah, okay. I thought I read that wrong. Shimada Hirosuke. I'm trying my best to learn about Nihonto, but it's a lifetime pursuit, like fly fishing. I didn't know that about fly fishing, but I'll take your word for it. I thought one pin was standard that has two. Cool. Yeah, one pin is standard for a Japanese sword from Japan. They usually only use one pin to hold it in place. One of the things you'll see with production swords, modern day swords, is they use two pins. And the reason for that is that they are not, the handle is not made specifically for for each individual blade. But you can see there's one here and then another one here. So that's pretty standard with modern day production blades. It gives the sword a little more stability inside the ska because it isn't custom made to each individual blade, I should say. All right. I'm dragging this out, by the way. I'm trying to build up the suspense, and everyone's like, what's he got? What's he got? So, all right, here we go. Ugh, the smell of must. Okay. So this is a wakizashi. And oh, wow. Oh, wow. And I'm saying, wow, it's wrapped in saran wrap. But the first thing that stands out to me is that it's just so wide. So this is like 1.25 inches wide. So probably like about 3.4 centimeters, 34 millimeters. So that's what really stands out to me. And the fact that this is a cut down sword, it must have been a giant back in the day. The other thing that really stands out to me is that just from the look, just through the saran wrap, you can already tell how nice it is. And damn it, I can't get the saran wrap off. What did he do to get this on? Wow. I got heartburn from the suspense. That's what I was going for. That's looking Messer very wide look. gnarly. This is not a naginata naoshi. You can see that the tip has an enormous, well, I guess you can't see it very well, but it has an enormous kisaki. So it's an okisaki. So this was an okisaki sword, and I can't get the freaking saran wrap. Okay, here it's coming. I'm like, what did you do, Ray? I've never had him wrap it quite like this before, but maybe this is from Ray Singer's personal collection. So when I say it's from Swords of Japan, Ray is of swordsofjapan.com, but this was one of his personal swords. So not one that he bought for the business, but one that he got for himself. And so anything that Ray gets is likely to be nice because he's super picky. I'm not really picky about swords. I like the idea of certain swords, and I don't really care as much about if they are made by an important smith or something like that. So, all right. Okay, here it comes. I was about to say moment of truth, but it got stuck. Here we go. The saran wrap is off, and holy crap. Look at the size of this kisaki. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try to hold it up. Let me turn on this light here. I'm going to try to angle this light up here so you can see. This is such a healthy blade. I mean, at first look, I see zero flaws in it, but look at the size of that kisaki. Enormous kisaki. Steve, I would say this is beyond standard Ray wrapping. It's like even more so than that. So anyway, yeah. If you like it, that's what matters. If the blade speaks to you, yeah, that's what I'm with you there. I'm with you there. I am legit in love with the stick style swords. I don't have a proper name for them. So that's actually very important to take into account when you see them in these fittings. These are called shirasaya. They're not functional. They're not quote unquote battle ready. If you try to swing a sword with this, you could split the tsuka on impact. And in fact, this one's already splitting a little bit. So these are not functional. Jesus, the size. Okay, so the habaki is enormous. Everything about this sword is big. Can we see the katana dagger? In my entire career, I haven't seen such a kisaki. Well, Medic, you should see the other kisaki I have here. But this is just enormous. It is such an enormously buff blade. I'm gonna have to wipe this down and put a new layer of oil on it. So I'm gonna wipe this down so we can get a better look at this. Oh, wow. This is just, okay, this was money well spent. I was like, I really balked at the price at first, but it was at the end of the year and I needed to improve my tax situation. So I went and bought it, but oh my gosh, just look at that polish. Look at the size. Why is everything so beefy? That's kind of what I go for. I go for beefy things. I'm partial to Shikomizue myself. I'm with you, man. So yeah, this is called a shirasaya, but when you have it in battle fittings that look like a stick, it's called a shikomizue, stick sword. Looks like a cutlass. Spider Eye says, hey, I want to let you know I received my sweatshirt today. Oh, okay, that's for Scott. So yeah, I'm gonna go turn off this light because it reflects off my very large forehead, as some of the videos have pointed out that I have a very large forehead. All right, so this is a very beefy blade, but the main feature of this blade, I'm gonna go pop this knuckle. Oh, okay, that really popped. I just gave it a little press with my finger and it went flying. Okay, I'm gonna put this peg down here and it's stuck. Okay. It's stuck. And really, the most amazing part of this sword is the tang. And so let me see if I can figure out a way to get that off. But it is stuck. And once again, the blade is beautiful. And this is done by Hirosuke, who is one of the premier smiths of the 1500s. And it's from it's a Soshu school, which is that's the tradition of Masamune. The trouble with cut down blades, they get stuck. Yeah, okay. So, all right, let me see if I can get this off. I have a little thingy, a little hammer, I don't know where it is. I couldn't find it the other day because I was trying to take not to go off another sword. But let me go move this to the side and see if I can find my little hammer. I have this little hammer tool to pop swords out of fittings. I don't think I took it to the shop, but I am not seeing it. I don't know what I did with it. So I'm very, very annoyed because I want to see I really want to see, it's called a folded over May. And so that's when they take the tang. That's when they take the tang. When someone cuts down the tang, they fold it over so they retain, it retains the signature. So, yeah, I don't know where my thing is, and I am very annoyed because I really wanted to see this. Maybe once it acclimates to the climate inside my guest bedroom here, it will loosen up. But for the time being, I have no way of looking at this amazing tang. This was going to be, I was going to shoot a lot of videos with this to talk about why, like when they folded over the tang and stuff like that. But anyway, with or without, this is an absolutely amazing sword. Now that I mentioned Shikomizue, I actually want to GameStop next week, and some guy was saying it would be awesome to have an umbrella sword. Trust me, I've looked into that. Let's see. Yeah, I love this. This is such a beautiful sword. Is there such a thing as a battle-ready Shikomizue? Yeah, Shikomizue are quote-unquote battle-ready. Yeah, so look at the size of this Kisaki. Can we see the tanto? Which tanto do you want to see? I have a couple in here. How much did this cost? This put me out a lot. Oh yeah, Steve reminds me that there are koshirae for this. So, and for those of you who aren't as familiar with the lingo, koshirae are the fittings. So since I can't seem to get the damn thing out of the tang, let's go and take a look at the koshirae. Let me first put this guy away. Yeah, I'm really annoyed. I don't know what I did with that. I don't think I took it to the shop, because we don't have enough nihonto and koshirae for me to do that. I'm just looking around for the stuff, and I'm not seeing it anywhere. The guest bedroom is a mess, and that's on me. The sword room, as my wife calls it. Nope, not in that drawer. Yeah, I have no idea where it is. I am very annoyed, because that is why I got the sword, was so I could look at the tang. Do you have a favorite type of nihonto? No, I like things that are a little bit different. I'm pretty sure he meant battle-ready Shirasaya and not Shikomizue. No, not really. I mean, the whole idea of Shirasaya is that there are things in it to keep the moisture off the blade, and to keep the blade, to preserve the blade and keep it protected. And battle mounts have a different function altogether. So I have never heard of a battle-ready Shirasaya. Or, battle functional Shirasaya. So when I find I hope I'm not showing my big forehead, by the way. Let's see. That's probably what I mean, not well versed. No worries. That's what we try to do. We try to katana dagger, hold that thought. All right, got this guy open. I'll get to the katana dagger, and then someone else wanted to see the straight sword, and I will do all of that in order. Yeah, I really hate the smell of fittings or sword bags. Japan is very prone to must. It's so damp. Okay. So, this monster blade, this monster wakizashi fit inside these fittings here. And check out the tsuba. And I don't know, let me turn the light again, see if you can see the detail. This tsuba is actually tamahagane. So it's folded steel. Are there shikomizue that are curved or slightly curved like katana? Yes, there are. Plenty. Yeah. And then the fittings. It has a kojiri. And even the tsunagi is a monster. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna try to hold this light up a little better so you can so we can see. I don't know if you guys can see the whorls in the guard and the tsuba. So, are you on your YouTube? Yes, I am simultaneously on YouTube. Do the bag smell good? They smell awful. Is it possible to buy a good quality katana without breaking the bank? Yeah. Are you talking about an antique, or are you talking about one from Japan, or are you talking about just a functional sword that you can use? Doesn't have to be from Japan. Yeah, interesting tsuba shape. These are the fittings for a real sword. This is a wooden blade, but it fits this sword here. So the shirasaya, the blade in shirasaya fits inside these fittings. And if I could pop the darn mekugi, the thing out, the handle off, then I would show you guys. But sadly, I cannot. Oh, wait, okay, never mind. I think I found it. I just saw it lying on the floor over there. All right, so bear with me here while I find something to put this on. Okay. Remember to bring that back to the shop. Okay, so these are my popping tools. Put it on the spine. Oh, gotta pop the mekugi first. Otherwise, I'll be hammering all day. Ah, moment of truth. And I'm gonna turn this light back on and try to angle it so people can see. So number one, this has a bonji in it. This is a Buddhist Sanskrit symbol. This was originally in the blade before they cut it down. So that's one of the cool things. That's part of the reasons why I got it. And then when I flip it over, this is the orikaishime, the folded over me. So what they do is that when they cut it down, before they cut it down, they'll leave the signature then folded over, twist and fold over. So that's where you can see the signature in the folded over me. And this is the only reason not the only reason, but the main reason I got this sword. It doesn't have to be Japan, as for it is traditionally made and it is cutting and for EI. Joe, you can spend $200 from us and get really good ones from the Moritaka Vortex, and you can get nicer ones for more expensive. Katana dagger, let's see. So look at the size of this Kisaki, Scott. 3-shade polish. It's a monster. 3-shade polish. I'm going to turn off these bright lights because it's reflecting off my giant forehead. And so, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put this in its fittings. If I can pop it without a mekugi popper, because I don't know where my mekugi popper is. Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought. So someone asked about sword pillows. We are going to use a sword pillow right now. So, that came out very easily, much more easily than I thought it would. And that, people, is how you put a sword in fittings. So, okay. Okay, the pin does not want to go in all the way. What's happening here? Oh, this probably needs an extra spacer, an extra seppa. Yeah, the pin doesn't want to go in, so I'm just going to leave the pin out, and I'm not going to swing it around. So this is the sword in fittings. I never mess with my sword. I'm scared of damaging it. You should show us the Christian samurai sword. I don't actually have one here. It's at the shop. Is there any way I can order a real Japanese blade? Yes, workshop. Lots of places. And hook me up. Let me hit you up. Are there any Chinese swords in the style of katana? Yes, there are, Leah Drake. There's one called a Miao Dao. I'm more psyched than a teenager at a Taylor Swift concert. Yeah. So this is this sword inside its battle fittings. Oh, this is so freaking cool. Yeah, the Mikugi doesn't line up. Oh well. Anyway. Yeah. And it's such a healthy blade. This is probably, I mean, I wish you could see the details, like the folding in the steel and everything. This is a really beauty. I mean, this is a real beauty. And that Kisaki, oh my gosh. Did someone say I can't remember. Someone said they liked they liked large Kisaki. And so I was going to show another pretty awesome Kisaki. But we're going to go in order now. And then I make sure not to back myself up and stab myself in the ankle with that. So here is the Dotonuki. Someone wanted to see the straight sword. And I'll turn on the light and see if you can see the details of that a little better. Yeah, that's my video about this really attracted a lot of jerks. The biggest jerk of them all is like David Easley. David Easley is a major Nihonto collector, very well known, but he's such an asshole. And he was saying, it doesn't look good for 400 years. I'm like, whatever, dude. You don't look good for 400 years. Yes, this is Tokubetsu Hozon. Oh, no, sorry, this is a Hozon. Let's see. Show us your favorite tachi. Any recommendations for a cheap tachi? What's your definition of cheap? Because we have some for $225 at the shop, rvakatana.com. All right, so the next request was the sword, the little mini dagger. I actually don't have any in katana form. And you know what? I don't like the idea of leaving this blade out, so I am going to put it back in its shirasaya, and I will worry about taking it off later. I just don't want to stab myself with it. Put all my tools over there on the side. And, all right, so I don't actually have any katana with those little, they're called kogatana, but here is a tanto with a kogatana. So you can see it has a little mini knife here, and this one gets stuck. So I'm going to go take this out first. And then you can see here's the kogatana. And we actually have some modern ones now. We from Cloudhammer, they just came in that have the little kogatana on it. Let's see. What is the shiniest sword? I don't know. Put your hand behind the blade to focus the camera on the detail. I'm a beginner, so around 200. So go to our website, rvakatana.com, and I think we have some tachi for $225. Have you found a katana with Sean for line in the Japanese in the Tang? No. What's the one for zombies? Like 16-inch long. Let's see. Have you looked into Silver Wolfhead cane sword from the series Strain? Yeah, I haven't found that anywhere. Please recommend a shop that will send shipments to Iraq. I'm not sure if Iraq allows swords. Any Yaritanto coming in? No. What do you want for the 400-year-old Shirasaya? You mean the straight one? That is not for sale yet. It may be in the future, but I'm going to enjoy it for now. That's one of the ones that I want to keep around because I like things that are a little bit different. And if I do sell it, it won't be for it'll be pretty expensive. All right, someone said they like big kisaki. This is probably one of the biggest kisaki you will see in an antique Japanese sword. And what about the one I just opened? You mean the tanto? That tanto is Steve's. If when I ever decide to part with it, Steve has first dibs on it because he's been eyeing it for a long time, like ever since I've gotten it, like over a year and a half ago. So I'm gonna turn on this light again and see if we can catch the reflection off. So you can see the kisaki starts right there. So this kisaki is 5 inches long. If you find that name, it was stolen from me, and I am the forger of the sword. Yes, I'm sure. Any heavy cutters on the website? Yes. Let's see. Have you looked at, let's see, what tool did you use to take apart your katanas? I've been looking. To take out the pin, it's called a mekugi nuki. This is probably one of my favorite swords. Check out this right here. There's battle damage right there. You can see the scar from where another sword hit it. So this is probably one of my favorites. This is probably my new favorite sword, actually. The 5-inch Kisaki, this one, also not for sale. And if it goes for sale, it has battle damage and everything. It's going to be very dear. So if I ever sell it, I don't know. It's something where I'll put the price so high that nobody wants it. Everyone will say I'm out of my mind. Like, no, I just don't want to sell it. Like, I'll probably put it for 15 grand or something like that. Yeah, well, the thing is that do you have the oldest katana on the shore? On the shore? In the store? Sorry, wanted for bad grammar, just wanted to get the point out. Let's see. Do you have oldest katana on the shore? So the oldest katana that we have, it's not a katana, but it is a Nagamaki Naoshi. It's this one here. This is the oldest one that's for sale. And this was once a Nagamaki. It has this really cool sweeping tip. So this is the oldest one that we have for sale. It's probably like 500 plus years old. Show me something rare. You know, this is pretty uncommon. The ones I've been showing so far have been pretty uncommon. So that's the sort of stuff I like. It's like it doesn't have to be made by an important smith, but it has to have some unique feature to it. The Nagamaki is, I believe, 1950. The Nagamaki Wakizashi. What swords on the website would you consider heavy cutters? Because there isn't any when I go to them. So go to cloudhammerforge.com and look at the Handachi. The S5 Handachi are definitely heavy cutters. Let's see. Sir, you really have an amazing collection. All respect to you, to every place in your collection. Oh, thank you. I don't have an amazing collection because I collect things that most people are not interested in. So there are all these things that I think are cool, but other people won't necessarily think are cool. However, I think most people will think this one's pretty cool. And once again, this is the one I just got from Ray Singer, Wakizashi, with an enormous Kisaki. Like, that baby is 3 inches long. It's very wide and very buff. I mean, wow. All I can say is wow. This is probably the most moved I've seen a sword come out of a Shirasaya. Let's see. If a samurai from feudal Japan could choose a sword made from this era, what do you think he would choose? S5? Can we see the longsword? I don't have a longsword here, I don't think. I have a hand-and-a-half sword, but no longsword here. Is the Nagamaki negotiable? Somewhat, Medic. You can send me an offer, and I will consider it. Let's see. May I see the detail, please? The Nagamaki. Yeah, I have a Hirosuke Tanto if you want a mate for that one. Is there something special about it, Steve? Because you know what I like, right? Where someone just said something, I was going to grab it, but no, I have since forgotten. Hand-and-a-half sword here. Oh, the detail of the Nagamaki. Yeah, hold on. I will show that in a moment. How many names are on the Japanese sword style? How many names? I'm not sure. Are handguards, not crossguards, seen in European swords considered a unique feature in these? I am not sure. I'm not quite sure what you're asking. This is a hand-and-a-half sword. This one is actually broken, so it ended up becoming mine. I'm waiting for Cloudhammer to send me another one. So, the Nagamaki in detail. Let's see. Okay, gonna turn this bright light back on. Gonna angle it up. And let's see if you can see the detail here. It's got a Sugaha Hamon, so I think it's a Yamato. At least it is descended from Yamato. I think it has a really thin Sugaha Hamon, which is pretty common. Hey, We're Physical. Have you ever cut your head on the sword? A head? No. Hands all the time. Sort of like a basket hilt that goes through the entire hand. That would be a rare design in Asian made swords. I'd have to think about that because I think some Chinese swords might have that kind. Have you ever considered having a Hana katana? I think it's a cool thing to add to the collection. Hana katana? Is it like a Hana Matana? Is it possible to buy a good Tameshigiri katana for around 1,000 to 1,500? Joe, you can get it for much less than that. We can sell you a good Tameshigiri for under 500. Those wide kisaki look like they're as wide as owls, and Joe's. Oh, so here we are. What else is interesting history do you know about Christian samurai? Not a whole lot. It's not my specialty. Talk to Walt Muscle. That's his specialty. Put a Ming wrap on a katana ska. Do you have a sword in your house? What if I said no? Would you guys believe me? This is my house, so we have, I think, as of now, about 50 swords in here. This is the Nagamaki. Let's see. I like katanas that have more subtle curve to the blade, almost straight, but still curved. Yeah, we have something like that. Can I see the ska? I couldn't remember if this Mikugi this one comes out pretty easily. Oh, sorry, I'm showing you the nakago. Here is the ska. Ska has the big emperor nodes there. Extreme curve katana. I had one, but I no longer have it. Steve has it. Extreme curve katana. As Steve has it as of today, actually. Extreme curve, but yeah. What is a menuki? Menuki has these little ornaments right there. Hey, Chin Hobby Toys. Thanks for your comments. Hey, Angelo. Hana Montana. No anime swords at the house. So the most curved katana I have is this guy. It has a curvature of 3.4 centimeters. Enormous curve. I have a sneaking feeling I'm going to buy that Meteor doll. Did you get my message, Chad, about the content? No, not extreme curve. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I have it here, in fact. Might as well show it since we're here. So this is a Meteor Damascus Dao, and it has some pretty amazing. Can we see the katana gold on the background? So see the patterns? This comes from meteorite having lots of impurities in it. It's a pretty amazing sword. This is about 30% meteor, and it is folded with SK5 and 51 CRV4. Show us next to the least curvy sword. Here's a straight one. So, and then I have a straight Nihonto as well. Katana gold in the background. Which one are we talking about? The katana gold in the background. I am not sure which one we are talking about. Yeah, this meteorite is stunning. Show us the next to least guide. Let's see. Reminds me of some of my Damasteel knife blades. Would you think a samurai would do how do you think a samurai would do with a kopesh? I think that like anyone, they would learn how to use it. It has a lot less curve where almost straight, but still curved. Let's see. On the top, the gold katana. On the top, the gold katana. This is, you mean this one here? This is our $70 gold plum sword. This is one of the shop swords. We have several of these left. We've sold over 100 of them because they're only $70, but they're totally functional. We've cut with them. Cut bamboo. How much for the meteorite sword? $1,750. $1,750. You can find it on cloudhammerforge.com. Cloudhammerforge.com. We also have another meteorite sword here. This is a meteorite Tachi, also from Cloudhammer. I don't know why I bowed to it because it's not an antique sword, but I just bowed to it. And the fitting is loose, but here we are. And the curves aren't quite as interesting as the Dao, but they're still pretty interesting. So meteorite Tachi. It's tanto. The blade is with opposite direction. It's specifically made to deal with the flowers. The samurai used it as a peace symbol. I am not sure what you mean by that, Mr. Nine. Were there any tsuba on katana that were irregular or odd shape? Yeah, plenty. So samurai groups, the thing is that $100 Amazon katana is probably more durable than any of the swords a samurai ever actually used. So they might be cheaply made, not well put together, but in terms of blade strength, they're probably better than what the Japanese were using. How common is meteorite in a sword? Not very common. A full meteorite sword, like 100% meteorite, is going to be like $20,000. But the ones we have some that are like between 20 and 30% meteorite, either folded or laminated, and those are in the $2,000 range. All right, I'm trying to figure out how to get this sword. It's like it just keeps on wanting to get stuck. Like right now, it's stuck again inside its fittings. So let me go get this off so I can return it back to its sheath, and I'll show you guys the May again. So I am going to get these back on. Did I lose it? Nope, I didn't lose the seppa. But I did put it on backwards like an idiot. I always do that. There we go. So I'm not sure how I'm even going to display these in the room. But this is definitely one of my new favorite swords, at least for the time being. My favorite swords change so quickly. So this was the sword I just got today and unboxed. The Hana Katana. I'm not sure what you mean by the Hana Katana. Can we see the wooden katana? Which one is that? I'm not sure what you mean. Have you guys got naginata yet? Yes, we got 2 naginata in the shop now. Yeah, discovering Muneware on your antique Nihonto as a heart stopper. Do you have the Wakizashi sword? Here's a Wakizashi. Kenshi, Chad, those pictures looked awful, but if it's only hairline, I don't think it's a horrible thing. But those pictures, I was like, oh my God, what happened to it? Once again, now I'm gonna look for Muneware. This actually has a very thin mune. Wow, this is like it's such a buff blade, but the mune is so tiny. I think it's a Mitsu mune actually. Wow. Wow, this is such a pretty sword. Such a beautiful sword. I'm gonna grab my tools and put them away. Shouldn't be stepping all over it. All right. Do you have any wooden katana in the store? We're getting some, but we currently do not have any. Where can I find your store? rvakatana.com. rvakatana.com. Yeah, thank God for Ray Singer. He is a treasure. He is a jewel. He's one of the coolest people to learn from. Oh, here's my Tokubetsu Whole Zone certificates. Anything else people want to see while they're here? I might as well whirl this around. This is my Tachi rack. People are asking about Tachi. Tachi are my favorite swords. I'm actually going to get a display case that I'm going to put over. Let's see if I can get this thing to stand correctly. I can't. My big forehead. So I'm looking to get this display case that'll fit right here. And lockable, and then I'll be able to display more swords. But that's the plan right now. Did you see my last comment? Says Crazed Wolf. I did not. You might have had something in it that Kiss me when the protocol taking care. Kiss me. When is the protocol taking care of a sword? Where are you from? Love the hoodie. Yeah, made by Scatoichi. He might be on 35. I think they're 35 or 40. I don't remember how much he charges for them. Does Ray have his own website or blog or something? Yes. Go to swordsofjapan.com. Swordsofjapan.com. It talks about shipping. Sorry, that was wrong. What is the protocol in taking care of? I was like, okay, whatever you say. The protocol for taking care of the sword, the main thing is to keep it oiled. Imagine this, World War III just ended and we are fighting with sticks and swords. You get to take one sword with you. S5 shock steel sword is what I'm going with. So I kind of would look forward to those days, you know, because it's something I'm not very good with guns. I'm a pretty bad shot because I don't practice enough. But swords, I'm probably better at. The top of my case to my Emma came off. The top of my case to my Emma come off. Do you mean the kabutogane, the little piece at the end? Yeah, you just glue it back on. One thing that happens in the cold weather is that the cold and hot weather is that the saya will shrink and expand, and so the little fittings will come loose. So yeah, all you have to do is glue it. Yeah, just glue it on. Very easy. Yo, what antique are we unboxing? I already unboxed it, Outlaw, but I will show it again in a moment. But rusty swords are the best. Yeah. Do you ship and how much is it? It depends on where you live. We're based in Richmond, Virginia. And so shipping on the East Coast is probably anywhere from $8 to $12. And on the West Coast, $12 to $15. It really depends on where you live. If you live in the boonies, it'll be a little bit extra. This is the one Outlaw that I just got. It's a Wakizashi. I'm holding this up for YouTube right now, TikTok. Look at the kisaki on this monster. The kisaki is almost as wide as my freaking hand. May I ask you to translate a famous line for me from the Last Samurai sword movie? I can try. Oh, I love that one. How to keep your sword. Oh, let's see. How to keep your sword not to be broken on the saya. Your sword should never break on the saya. Kansas, about $12, 4 days. John, have you seen the Cell Swords art video attacking the sword community for not practicing HEMA or going to a HEMA club? I haven't seen that yet. He's a pretty cool guy in general. Let's see. I've never known Cell Swords arts to be an attacker. He always seems like a really upstanding, nice guy. I like him a lot. I'm much more likely to attack somebody just because, you know, verbally that is. I'm a very big clapper backer. I like to, I can be a jerk. And I'm happy about that. Which is to say, go ahead and check my latest TikTok-YouTube video where someone is talking about the Dotanuki that I was showing. Are the golden katanas 75? They're 70. Have I ever broken a saya? No, I have not. Actually, a modern saya? Yes, I have. How many forges in Longtren can actually use the Longtren seal on the sword? I have no idea. Oh. Yeah, this is a stunning blade. It is stunningly healthy. So in terms of condition, this is probably one of my most... The ninja attack and everybody. Uchiha shouts, hey, Musa, and every samurai shouts, Kiai. I don't remember 100%. Hey, Voodoo, Jesse. They attacked and Shad from the Shad Diversity in the video. Shad mad an hour-long response. Oh. I'm sorry to confuse you, sir, but go ahead and ask some of your collector friends about it. I believe Amazing Blade Hanakatana or Hanagatana. I will. A functional katana for $80 total is not bad. Yeah. How many souls for that blade? Your soul is not worth it. What does Musa mean? No idea. Musa. Japanese has so many homonyms, so it's really hard to say what that could be. All right, it's closing in on 9:30. The kid wants to go to bed at 9:30, so I am going. Yeah, it's from the movie, but it's been a long time since I've seen The Last Samurai. I'm sorry, The Last Samurai. I do like the ninja attack. That's a pretty fun scene. Can swords cut through pigs? I think it depends on your skill and the sword. Good night, Outlie. Good night, Celtic Knight. Sir, if I may ask, is it okay to use pure silver for the fittings, Tsuba and others? Yeah, sure. Can your son? Okay. Alrighty. So I shall shut this baby down, but thank you again for joining in, and I will see you guys next time. Good night. And good night, YouTube.